You've got to prove what you're making's cool. You've got to prove what you're making's impactful.
Ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between of those two parameters. Welcome. Pull up a pew, grab yourself a beer, crack open a fresh one. Uncork that bottle of Pinot Grigio, or Glenfiddich, or Advocaat, or, whatever it is that you're... Maybe a sherry. Maybe a sherry is what you need to be able to unwind. What you need to self-medicate your way through the stresses, the chaos that we are all forced to enjoy or endure. I'm unwinding out here tonight with the water is my way of unwinding. It's my escape is to come out into my shed, escape the stresses, the chaos out here in my shed with water. Such is my commitment to sobriety that we're now, I think, almost 10 months into this inexplicable and hugely unexpected tiptoe into sobriety, people. So yeah, here I am tonight in my shed with the water. It's not quite cocktail on a beach, is it? It's not quite that. Not quite a pina colada in the Bahamas, is it? It's a water in my shed. Is what it is. But it is still an escape from, it's still different. It's still a break from the stresses, the chaos of my job and my family life. Anyway, this is a weird fucking intro, isn't it? Lots to talk about tonight, people, listeners, viewers. Lots to rip, roast, and ridicule. So let's get into it, shall we? It's been a weird time the last couple of weeks, hasn't it? Been a weird time for me, definitely. If not for you guys, I'm having some sort of psychological breakdown at the moment. Midlife crisis, manic depressive meltdown of some description. Honestly, I don't know what's wrong with me at the moment. But watch now again as I temper it, as I keep it all bottled up, so that I can still attempt to manage the responsibilities that are probably causing it, or at least contributing to it. Because it's been the Easter break, hasn't it? The last couple of weeks, it's been the Easter break, and so the kids have been at home. I have an 8-year-old and I have a 4-year-old. In case you're a new listener, the kids have been at home, so childcare has been insane. It is, of course, also the end of the month, so I am broke. There's been lots of day trips, lots of ways of keeping them occupied over the last couple of weeks, so I'm even more broker than I ordinarily would be at this point in the, financial life cycle, with salaries and payments and all of that. On top of that, the world feels like it's imploding. And to top it all off, after all of that, the sprinkle on the top of the layer cake of sorrow. Now, I don't know if you saw it in the news yesterday. It's Tuesday night, time of recording. Broke in the news yesterday morning, I think late morning, maybe early afternoon. I came across my push notifications yesterday, and it's it's incredibly sad. Unfortunately, we've lost Kate Blanchett, guys. We've lost Kate Blanchett. You know her. She's announced that she's giving up on acting. Guys, she's taking a bit. I promised myself I wouldn't cry. Taking a step back from acting, from Hollywood, and not now, not immediately, but soon. She says, and obviously the world is in shock. It's in mourning. A lot of the front pages of the newspapers today, you know, understandably dominating the front pages. You know, she was the people's actress. It's been, you know, retrospectives on all that she's given to the world over the years. You know, gratitude for what that she's, you know, all the stuff that she's given us. So Kate Blanchett is this year's. I can't keep up the faux sorrow. Kate Blanchett is this year's Emma Watson. Is what she is. She's this year's Anne Hathaway. Is what she's doing here. You know? When these high-level, high-profile actors and actresses announce that they're leaving, announce that they've had enough, they're throwing in the towel. That's it. The PR agents put out a statement. There's basically like a Hollywood PR version of that girl at the party who's like, no, really, I'm leaving. You know, like makes a big deal out of it. Everyone's like, just fucking go then. No, don't tempt me. I'm so leaving if this carries on. Don't push me. Don't push me, because there's going to be a cake-shaped hole in your future if you carry on with this. All the boys at the party are like, cake-shaped hole, like, No, not like that. Ooh. Now, there should be a segment at the Oscars every year for the actors and actresses that we lose away from the movies in situations like this. First, you have all the people that died with, you know, some sort of somber music in the background and the dates that they were born and then they passed away. And then you break, then you have a few awards, and then you come back again, and then it's like, and here's the people who said, make the most of me now, because soon I'm throwing in the towel. So make the most of me now. The supply is short for you. I'll be gone soon, so love me now while there's still time, while you still have an opportunity to love me. I like Kate Blanchett. I do. You know, I think she's a great actor. Or actress. Actor. I never know which we're doing with that now. I think she's great. She's a great performer. Right? But maybe acting is boring for her. For loads of other people, maybe it's just boring. You know, maybe being a celebrity is pretty fucking tedious. Maybe, I don't know. But I'm always a bit cynical when people announce that they're quitting, like, you know, way ahead of time. You know what I mean? Like she doesn't need to say that. Like, she could easily just not take another movie for quite a while, right? You know, like Marlon Brando. Do you remember Marlon Brando? Showing my age here a little bit. Marlon Brando was also a celebrated actor, wasn't he? Multi-award winning, much coveted by various directors. And he was like, you know, towards midlife and his later life, he was like, this is a useless and empty profession, is what he described acting as. Couldn't be arsed with it. Hated it. So he just fucked off. He just stopped making movies, right? Unless somebody came along and knocked on his door and offered him an absolute gang load of cash. And then he would be like, it's all right. How many days is it? 4 days work, is it? All right, I'll do a big comeback for that shit. Like, I remember when Michael Jackson released the You Rock My World single off the Invincible album. And it was written up in the press like, it's, testament to how much of a megastar Michael Jackson is and how important this album is that somebody is heralded, has celebrated as Marlon fucking Brando has gotten involved in the music video. He must really rate him. He's actually a fan of Mike. I was like, get the fuck out of here. Like, and then later on it turned out he'd paid Marlon Brando something like $15 million to just sit in a chair and pretend to be the Godfather. Again, he's like, yeah, can you just look like a sort of mafioso guy, can you? Just for a bit? We'll just film it. Yeah, here's the check. Brando's like, all right. That was a hard day's work. I'm off for a pie. So maybe, I don't know, maybe she feels a bit like him. Maybe it's an empty and useless profession to Kate Blanchett. But the thing that I like to do with these sorts of situations, whenever a celebrity announces very high profile that they're quitting, that's it, guys, no more of me. I like to, and you can't do this immediately, right? You have to wait a period of time. But what I like to do is check back in on them like a couple of years later, or like, spool forward from when they originally announced the retirement. Because if we park Kate Blanchett for a minute and Emma Watson, both of whom have also announced they were retiring and subsequently ended up, remaining in popular culture in some capacity. Anne Hathaway of the Devil Wears Prada fame. Anne Hathaway checked out, right? And I remember seeing stuff about it in like Vanity Fair or like The Guardian and, sort of arts magazines or whatever. And I remember she said that it was, or rather the reporter said it was because she wanted to start a family. She wanted to raise a family and focus on that. And, obviously that's great. But then you spool forward like a couple of years. And you just imagine the sort of situation they're in. Like spool forward a couple of, like 2 or 3 years after she's made that decision. And now she's got the family. Now she's got the kids who are like screaming and breaking shit and kicking her and shitting themselves and throwing tantrums every 2 minutes. Like, I like to imagine Anne Hathaway getting rudely awoken by the toddler for the 4th tantrum that morning and going like, no, I can't take it. Yes, I wanted to focus on the most important job in the world, on being a mom. I wanted to focus on raising my kids. But you know what? I'll take useless and empty profession for a little bit. Just for a bit. Just give me a break. This is the 4th time this morning. I'll take useless and empty. Just for a little vacation. A little break. I'll go back to work. I mean, fuck your, I don't know if I can accommodate part-time mums and flexible working. It's like nobody works harder or salivates more at the prospect of just leaving their kids and singing and dancing their way into the office or the movie set. Nobody looks forward to work more than parents, I promise you. Nobody craves, literally like heroin, guys, the comparative peace and tranquility of a day in the office versus the abject chaos, hatred, and despair in their family home when there are young children involved. Anyway. So it's kind of fun to look at that. But I was surprised to see that she hasn't gone back on the booze either. Because did I mention that she's given up booze? Like she's done it all sober? The early years of parenthood sober? She was giving up the bottle? Like that would have been funnier, to be honest. Not to make light of people's struggles with alcohol. If you... can't control your intake obviously you should go and speak to somebody about that, try and get some help. But there is something funny about somebody like Anne Hathaway saying on record in The Guardian, like saying, I'm giving up booze while I have young children because I want to be there and focused and present for them and have all of the magazines celebrate it, like before the fact. And then we smash cut to 6 months in. There'll be a paparazzi snap of Anne Hathaway on an off night getting skyballed in a dive bar. Jacked out on bourbon, pouring 2 more for herself at the bar. And she'll be like, make the most of me now, because I'll be gone soon. But no, apparently that hasn't happened. Apparently she stayed dry. She does remain sober. So good for her, I guess. Anyway, why are we talking about celebrities? Again, how the fuck did I get... Oh, right, yes, Kate Blanchett. Kate Blanchett has quit, guys, which was actually a reference to the Pope dying. I don't know if you picked up on that. The Pope has died. Lots of coverage about it, about him, his legacy. The People's Pope, they're calling him. He's gone. He's floated up to heaven. He's no longer with us here as of now. What do you think you get in heaven if you've been a Catholic Pope for however many years? You know, what do you think you get for that? Because I was thinking earlier, like, you know, if you're a good Muslim, you get 72 virgins, don't you? I think that's what they say. Or is it just martyrs that get 72 virgins? Or is it... I honestly, I don't know. But that's the fable. That's the rumour. If you're a good Muslim, you'll get 72 virgins waiting for you in heaven. If you're a good actor, you get an afterlife of UN Goodwill Ambassador posts, and you can start a non-profit or maybe even a vineyard in Southern California or something. But what do you get? What do you get, guys, if good Muslims get 72 virgins? What does a pope get? Do we think? What do you get at the end of that vow of a lifetime of celibacy? You know, because like the lifetime is over. The lifetime is... Like, do you think the Pope is floating up there now? He's like, look, I did it. I did the lifetime of celibacy, didn't I? Now where's the fucking paycheck? Like, what does a Catholic fucking Pope get, guys, as his reward, alongside the Muslims, or some Muslims getting 72 virgins? Answers in the comments, please. Let's hope those comments are clean, shall we? Don't get me cancelled before I even got big. Be a tragedy. Elsewhere, in the hopeless wasteland that is the news sections of the Western world, people, what else is going on? What else has caught the attention of your eye? Your side eye of grimacing disapproval, just sort of caught whatever's going on over here. There's some sort of dancing carnival of idiocy over just stage left of your periphery. What else has caught your attention in that regard? 2 tech stories caught my attention, guys. 2 tech stories, 2 stories from the world of technology that I wanted to touch on tonight. The first is a return to a sort of favoured subject, I guess, of the podcast that you may have seen me rant about or report on in the past. depending on how long you've been listening and watching and subscribing and commenting. Make sure you're liking and commenting, guys. Can't stress that enough. But basically, about 5 years ago, right? I was writing blogs for my Funk 27 website, which I don't really contribute much to anymore. You can still find all the podcast links on there. They still sort of auto-magically end up on there. But I don't really do the blog so much now. I just don't have the time. But anyway, I was writing blogs on Funk 27, kind of forewarning about deep fakes. If you recall. Now, there's been a few. I'm not right about everything. Some predictions I'm way off. But there's been a few things along the way I've been spot fucking on about. And around that time, I was sort of predicting where we were headed with regards to deep fake AI technology. And I was saying that basically where we will end up politically and geopolitically is that you will have fake videos circulating on a largely unregulated social media space. And now it's even worse than it was when I wrote it. And these fake videos will be indistinguishable from reality. And cable news in America, which, you know, dominate much of the social media space in terms of Fox News clips, Breitbart, Newsmax, all the rest of it, not to mention all of your alt-right culture war influencers, they will just share these things. They'll just retail them out. Unchallenged, they won't check it because it will help, or they will help to perpetuate the narratives that they're already seeking to weave. Guys. And you won't have you know the old adage, like a lie goes around the world in 10 seconds and the truth takes a day to catch up or something like that. It'll be like that, but on acid. It's going to get even worse. And I said, it could cause riots. It could cause a war. And anyway, it's still up on Funk 27 if you want to go and check it out. But it's taken a while for that one to come true. It's taken longer than I thought it probably would do. But it is kind of starting to happen now. Now, this story, you might not have actually noticed it over the weekend because the whole news ecosystem collapsed into mourn porn as of Monday, didn't it? But here's what happened, right? Two journalists at Sky News found that they had been deep faked with their voices, their visuals, their faces. And Sky News put out this Sunday expose about how fucked up it all is. Which I thought was I felt sorry for Sky News at the same time as being quite amused by this, because it's like, if you know anything about the UK media, Sunday is your day. Sunday is the day for scandals and exposés and, the MP's expenses scandal, or, News of the World used to put some footballer's been shagging hookers or something, always on the front page of the Sunday papers, right? And Sky News have gone with a similar approach. It's like, we'll put it out on Sunday. So that's when everyone's at home, everyone's got time to read it, digest it, get online, blah, blah, blah. So they put it out on Sunday. And in minutes of putting this thing on, just press post. Boom, out goes your expose. This is a career maker, guys. The first time that journalists have been deep faked. And within minutes, the fucking Pope dies. It's just like carpet bombed coverage everywhere. Like, who got deep faked? Was it the Pope? Oh, well, then nobody cares. It's such terrible timing. But anyway, I digress. And it should be a big story. It should be a big story because journalists, guys, have been deep faked on, and it's not like a Fox News guy. It's not GB News guys. These are journalists on a mainstream, fairly reliable news outlet, right? Sky News is basically BBC News. It's pretty much in the centre. It's not really known for being biased. Femi might disagree with me about that in some capacity, but largely, it's all right, It's a mainstream British 24-hour news channel, and their journalists have been deep-faked or cloned and made to say, this is what they deep-faked them into saying, that it was like they were interviewing somebody who had won $500 million on a mobile, or maybe it was pounds, £500 million on a mobile game, and they had bought their dream car. Which, I mean, I know that they say that they cater, like the people behind these scams, they say that they cater them for the stupid, don't they? Like they deliberately construct them to be like for people that are a bit dim who would still believe that. But that should set off alarm bells, I would have thought. You know? You got deep fakes of people saying that they'd won £500 million on a mobile game. 500 million. And they had bought their dream car. Like if you won £500 million, that's like $500 million. Would your flex on TV really just be, oh, I've finally been able to buy my dream car, right? I mean, would it? Is that what you would flex if you won $500 million? I'd be buying an island. I'd be like, fuck your car. I'm buying a $40 million private jet. I'm helicoptering into London and back once a week. Christ. I've won $500 million, mate. Have you? Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's right. And with my $500 million, I'm finally in a position to get that conservatory that I've always wanted. Yeah. yeah, I suppose, I suppose you are in a position. It's not going to be a problem for you anymore. It says, in the video, which was watched by at least 250,000 people on Facebook, like how? How? 250,000 people watched this video, watched this scam. That's what always weirds me the fuck out with these things. Is like, how are 750,000 people seeing these shitty ads? I just don't understand the marketing technique. What are they? Like, I don't want to sound like I'm, trivializing people getting scammed or anything. But honestly, I think the takeaway for all of us here is that it is humbling to see that I'm coming second in the numbers to obviously faked video scams. They're all tuning into this shit. It's a hit with the internet, this content. Like, here I am desperately trying to build a following, desperately trying to become some sort of a skatey satirical web star. Meanwhile, the entire internet is like, yeah, I like your stuff, mate. I like the paper reviews. But to be honest, if I had to choose, if I had to pick something to watch, I would definitely go with the fake Apple giveaway advert with the lady with the bad karate overdub lips. But I like your stuff, mate. I like your stuff. It goes deep fake videos of Sky News, then the Miracle Grow advert, and then you. It's like, you're in there. You are. It's just, everybody likes what they like, don't they? Don't look at me like that, Tate. All right? 750,000 people. 750,000 people can't be wrong. It says in the video, which was watched by at least 250,000 people. I mean, not that that's much better. It was watched by 250,000 people. I was talking to an AI-generated version of Sky News presenter Matt Barbette, who spoke in an Australian accent despite being from North Wales. So it wasn't a proper deepfake then. Like if they used somebody else's voice, an Australian guy's voice. But it could be. It could have been a proper deepfake of his voice also. And I mean that. Like, I've been messing around with some technologies over the weekend, and it is 100% possible now to deep fake people with how they look and how they talk and get them to say pretty much anything you like. So this story, this is like the light version, you know, compared to what it could have been. Like, deep fakes are so good now. Like, honestly, somebody should be warning Kate Blanchett and Emma Watson. Like, don't fuck around, girls. Because truly, give it another couple of years. You've already signed these contracts with fucking, you know, MGM, Warner's, and whoever, Sony Pictures maybe. I'm sure they've probably put some shit in their artist and actor contracts and shit where they just get carte blanche, right? Or carte blanchette, eh? Right, to your likeness, your voice. Then they can use it in the sequels and all of the promotional shit. Fucking come out of retirement now, Emma. Like, don't give up now, Kate. Just come back to the game. Get cast. Make your millions now while you can. Because you will miss it when you're all day-eyed. I promise you. You'll miss it when it's gone. It continues. Says, important news for all iPhone owners, said Deepfake Matt. Apple CEO Tim Cook has unveiled an app that will earn money for anyone who has an iPhone. On the bottom of the screen was a poor imitation of the Sky News breaking news strap, pixelated and in the wrong font. Two things on this. First, this is the sort of thing where they say that the scamsters do this stuff deliberately, like deliberately shit, right? Like pixelated, wrong font, it says. Because if you fall for this, as illegitimate as it looks, then you're probably stupid enough to go for the actual con, you know, which actually makes it sort of ironically very clever, right? Because it's no good pulling in somebody like me, right, with your perfectly presented and recreated indistinguishable fake with a good logo in PNG format, lossless image, and maybe with the guy's actual voice instead of an Australian accent. No, it's better to pull in somebody with an IQ below 70 who can't differentiate between the Sky News logo and a similar thing with the correct colours but the wrong shades and not quite the right Sky font. In fact, it actually looks a little bit more like Comic Sans. You know, it's no good luring me in. I could ring the alarm bell. I could expose the whole thing on you. So it's a way of filtering out the time wasters, isn't it? You know, the scamsters are like, we've put 10 grand of our own money into this thing. We don't want some clever clogs going into the scam and exposing it. So you don't want to... Just been really clear about this, boss. You don't want a believable Sky News logo. No, that would cast the net too wide. We only explicitly want the type of moron who would be fooled by this fucking nonsense. Right. Okay. Well, Comic Sans and Wingdings it is. The boss is like, right. Yes, yeah, that one, right there. Yes, use that. That's the shitty one. Use that. Make it pixelated. Use the wrong font. Get a paid ad. Get a paid ad on Amazon so that this scam appears right next to rubber cutlery. Maybe you can have it surface on Google search results. Like if the person puts in a particular search term, like Mrs. Brown's Boys or Peter Kay tickets. Then they see this advert. They see our scam. That's the kind of demographic we're looking for. Right there. That is your market. Off you go. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, from Sky News' perspective, I don't think it does anyone any favours when Sky or whoever report on these scams and they make such a point of saying how unbelievable they look, you know? Like, it was pixelated, it was the wrong font, it was obviously there was something dodgy about it. It's like that sort of vibe, right? Because then it makes it sound like they're all just dumb criminals. You know, oh, I guess I used the wrong font. Like, and they're not. That's not, like, it is a scam. They are criminals. But this is kind of part of the scam. Like, the unbelievableness is a component of the wider scam. But also, I think when you talk about it this way, I think it convinces people that they will know when they're being scammed. Like, they'll be able to spot it. Because scams will always look this shitty because they're run by dumb criminals. Which is just not the case at all. It says, for several minutes, Matt, myself, and a fake version of Apple chief executive Tim Cook tried to convince viewers to download a mobile game called Heavenly Sphere. Right. The video was taken from a chat I'd had with Matt on Sky News a few months ago about a lawsuit that Apple were facing. But somewhere in the world, scammers were feeding the conversation into an AI generator, which alters real videos and gives them different scripts, voices, or visuals. And then they've got a quote here from an expert. Check this out. You'll love this. This is from Dr. Siwi Liu, I think. Don't know how you... I'm not sure how you say that name. Dr. Siwi Liu, a professor at the University of Buffalo and an expert in deep fake technology. It's who they've got the quote from. Dr. Siwi Liu, University of Buffalo, deep fake expert. Dr. Liu says, "We think these videos were created by editing and merging lip-synced footage mixed with some real news scenes." Wow! Holy shit! Really? We think these videos were created by editing and merging some real news scenes. That's it. An incredible perspective being laid out there on the real Sky News now. A professor at the University of Buffalo, who is an expert in deep fake technology, has managed to clear that up for us. And anyway, this report says there's thousands more deep fakes active on Facebook, but also Instagram via Meta's advertising platform thing that they run. And it's not just that guy, by the way. Matt and his guest that we've covered there. It's also Sarah Jane Mee, redhead lady. She does a lot of their flagship politics stuff. And anyway, the story continues. It says, like, once you download the game, what was it called? Earth Sphere or something? What was it called? Heavenly Sphere. Once you download it, then you're basically online at that point with illegal casinos, guys. Like, that's what the actual scam is you download these games and then you go ahead and you bet on roulette or cards or whatever, and lo and behold, at some point you realize that I guess, like some of them, they've charged you a absolutely humongous subscription fee, or the roaming charges are outrageous, or you've lost on that round by, hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars, but stay on for the next one because, the little notification comes down and says like 95% of users who played this next game won $5,000 or more. And then they keep you on and you can't log out, or, so there's that, right? Deep fake technology is becoming real, and it's becoming a real problem. So that's the first story. The second tech story I wanted to cover tonight, guys, was this kid. Take a look at this, guys. Meet the teenage AI company founder who secured a $1 million investment. Toby Brown has started an AI company and secured a $1 million investment from Silicon Valley. Right. And all before he finished school. The teenager has paused his GCSEs to spend time in Silicon Valley and try to get even more investment for this company. And instinctively you think, all right, you know, good for him. Good for him. And then you take a look at the story, like, look at him, right? Look at him. Like, doesn't he look like the kid from Adolescence? Like, tell me he doesn't. He looks exactly like him. He looks exactly like the kid from Adolescence. He could easily be like his brother or something. And he started an AI thing that's getting powered by the billionaires of Silicon Valley. Now, well, this kid is going to fuck around and invent the thing that subsequently radicalizes himself. That's what's going to happen. That's where this is headed. So yeah, British teenager Toby Brown started an AI company and secured $1 million in investment from Silicon Valley. Should we take a look? Let's go deeper, guys. Let's take a look.
Toby Brown is the creator of AI platform Beam, and he did it from his family home in London, where he lives with his parents and his brother.
Steve Jobs is kind of my primary hero. Well, I built my own kind of version of ChatGPT, and I really realised that the interface wasn't the right way to be interacting with it. So that's kind of where the idea for Beam was born.
Right.
And you say that you kind of came from you creating your own version of ChatGPT.
Yeah.
You say that very casually, but I think a lot of people watching this would be like, whoa.
I started coding when I was 7. I built these kind of mini maths games to teach me how to, learn my times tables and stuff like that.
Toby has now secured a $1 million investment for Beam from Silicon Valley and is even spending some time out in California this year. He's delayed doing his GCSEs to do this, although he's still doing his classes on the side.
It's less so about the AI. I mean, I realised it was a technology we could use.
Like, I don't want to take anything away from him, because he's obviously very gifted, right? And good on him for getting the investment, for getting the check, But sometimes I think there's, there can be a temptation, can't there? Particularly for middle-aged men, I've noticed. It could be a temptation for people to find reasons to hate successful people like this kid, and be like, oh, well, here's the real reason that he's able to do it and I can't. And shockingly, it's not that I'm a fucking lazy piece of shit who never gets off my ass to do anything. It's not that. It's, oh, no, of course he's got the... we can all be a bit like that sometimes, I think. Oh, well, of course he's got the check because he went the... But listen to this kid. Listen to his dad.
I wanted to find out what Toby's family make of all this, so we caught up with his dad.
First of all, we're blown away, right? It's amazing. I mean, what a great story. So yeah, first of all, hugely impressed. Then of course, nervousness, right? Like any parent.
Like they live in Twickenham, which is a very green part of West London. It's a leafy suburb of Greater London. Looks like a nice big kitchen there too, doesn't it?
Toby's story is pretty unique.
You've got to prove what you're making's cool. You've got to prove what you're making's impactful. I think that's what I've done.
New technology has allowed all of this to happen. Now, young people can learn these key skills to get into these massive industries from a young age in their bedroom. And that is what has allowed stories like Toby's to actually happen.
I think anyone of any age can do incredible things.
I mean, what do we think his story is, really? I think anyone could do it. I think anybody. We live in such an amazing time, don't we? We live in such an incredible, miraculous time. I think anyone can do amazing things. Anyone could do this. Do we think that anyone could do this? Or do we think that maybe, his dad is probably in the business somewhere? Maybe they're rich as fuck, and he sounds like, I don't want to cast aspersions on people who happen to have, quote, well-spoken home counties accents, because, quite often people assume that I went to private school, but I'm going to assume that he went to private school. I'm going to assume on the basis that his dad sounds quite posh, and he's big into IT, and he lives in a green, leafy part of West London, and there's fucking 8 different private schools in that area, with his massive kitchen and his MacBook and his plummy tone. How'd you get that big kitchen, Dad? How'd you get that kitchen? Did you win 500 million on an Apple game or what? I mean, I don't know what his deal is. This kid. I don't know if he went to a comprehensive, if he had a state school upbringing, and, maybe he just taught himself how to code. And he's come this far now to ostensibly being a millionaire. If that's his actual backstory, then great. Good for him. Awesome. But if he did go to private school, and his dad has just, caked him out with kit, and now he's reaping the rewards, then I'm a bit like, can we not, please? Can we not lionize these kids with their privilege and their nepotism and their, I think anyone can do this.
I think anyone of any age can do incredible things.
The privilege bubble is real with this sort of story. Truly it is. It's like, do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the pretty fucking American YouTuber kids. That's what it reminds me of. Pretty American YouTubers with perfect teeth who gush on their vlogs and their story times and all the other styles of videos that they all do. Draw My Life, all of that. The American beautiful pretty YouTubers who come out with this stuff where they go like, all you need is a smile on your face and positive mentality. They're like, that's all it takes. That's all it took for me. That's all it takes, and great things could happen for you. Your dreams could come true, too. Because look at me. Who am I? I'm just a kid from Massachusetts who had a dream and posted some TikToks talking about what I thought about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. And I called him Johnny Dip. Like dipstick. I called him Johnny Dipstick because I thought it was clever. And then this social media manager guy gets in my DMs and says, I got to come to California. And that's where I am now. And you could be here too, living in this big house in Malibu with these other amazing, insane YouTubers and TikTokers and Zoomers. We're living the life we were supposed to live. And we're creative, and it's beautiful, and it's magic what can happen if you just put in the work and keep Jesus in your heart, and a smile on your face is all that you need. And meanwhile, the rest of us are like, all you need is a smile on your face. Because your face is fucking beautiful. Like your literal face is the product. And it's already perfect. So literally all you did need was to put a fucking smile on it. No. You got to keep Jesus in your heart and smile and a positive mental attitude, and amazing things could happen. The universe works in mysterious ways. We're like, no, trust me, bruv. For the rest of us fucking uggos out here, for the rest of the universe. It doesn't work in mysterious ways. The universe is actually really fucking horrible to the rest of us. It is a grueling, endless, painful existence for the rest of us out here in the wider universe without your pre-made, pre-built, instilled privilege. It's fucking hard.
I think anyone of any age can do incredible things.
Like, all you need is love in your heart. It's like, no. No, that is not all you need, John Lennon. Love is not all you need. I promise. If you want to make content or vlogs or, start a fucking AI company, You need to clamber and climb and scrimp and save and pray again. And maybe one fucking day, somebody out there might just loan you the money for that fucking MacBook you got gifted at age 7. Your fucking summer camp coding school that costs £400 a week. Go fuck yourself. People are watching this. They're like, oh, this is nice, Saint. Great. A grown-ass man, a 44-year-old man telling a 16-year-old boy to go fuck himself. This is really classy. Classy stuff, Saint. Maybe this is the reason that your channel isn't blowing up. Okay, fine. Point taken. Like, anyway, I don't know who he is. I don't know what his deal is. Maybe it's not all of that. Maybe he's not privileged at all. Maybe he has just Googled and worked hard and there's nothing more to it. But what are the chances, you know? What are the chances that the first kid in the UK who gets flown off to Silicon Valley to start the UK's version of ChatGPT, what are the fucking chances that he's a young white boy from the southeast of England, from West fucking London, who sounds like Hugh Grant? Like, fuck him.
You've got to prove what you're making's cool. You've got to prove what you're making's impactful. I think that's what I've done.
Like, honestly, if it was the choice out of this little cunt making more money and hoovering up opportunities that could have been given to people in the working class, I would almost prefer that he was radicalized by Andrew Tate. I would. Like, can somebody sneak in? Somebody sneak into his next product meeting and just show him a few of his videos, you know? The news guys come back 2 weeks later to catch up with him. They're like, oh, so is your prototype ready? We'd like to do another Sky technology thing about your prototype. You said it'd be ready in 2 weeks, right? By this time, he's fully enveloped into the Tate sphere. He's like, nah, man, I sacked that off. I just want to start a crypto scam. And I've got to be outside a divorce court in 3 minutes. Like, that's how deep, you know, the class war hate goes, right? Is when you would rather that this kid was Tate radicalized and ends up in jail than launches a successful seed round. Like, fuck him. Let's finish on a fun story tonight. Guys, here is a fun one. It's about Virginia and Texas. 2 states in America. You probably know that already. They both have flags because it's the United States of America. So each state has they have their own motto, sort of tagline. They have their own traditions and their own flags. So Texas has a flag. Virginia has a flag. And according to Axios, which is a news site, Virginia's flag has been banned in some parts of Texas. Guys, they've banned the flag of Virginia because they think it's obscene. Right? They simply cannot handle the obscenity of the Virginia, the virginal imagery of this flag. It says, Virginia's bare-breasted state flag and a lesson about the Commonwealth of Virginia has been banned for students in a Texas school district. Oh, all right. Okay. It says, Lamar CISD, a school district around 30 minutes from Houston, last fall removed a section about Virginia from its online learning platform used by 3rd to 5th graders. Texas Freedom to Read Project co-director Ann Russi tells Axios. It says, the picture was included in the lesson, but violated the district's recently adopted ban on any visual depictions or illustrations of frontal nudity. Oh my God. Saucy. Guys. Illustrations of frontal nudity. Goodness me. In elementary school material. Okay, all right. And apparently Anne Russi of that Freedom to Read project, who I guess lobby to, unban books. So I assume they'll be pretty busy as we all envelope into fascism. I'm assuming that's what does the website say? It says the Freedom to Read project exists to develop education and research materials to help limit book bans and education censorship across the country. We support robust, content-rich classroom, school and public libraries and oppose the removal of books based on ideological, partisan or religious reasons. Okay. So she puts a freedom of information request in to see why books or modules or whatever are censored. And in this case, it's the Virginia flag and a story about Virginia, like the Commonwealth of Virginia. And the response comes back basically saying, well, it's got a fucking tit on there. It's got a fucking tit. And like stories like this always get me. Do you remember when, was it Facebook or Instagram? I'm going back onto sort of, Facebook advertising platforms now. But it was a few years ago where these thirst trap models, right? Yeah, OnlyFans types, right? Thirst trap models, glamour models on Facebook and Insta. They were posting pictures of themselves as they do. And they were tired of getting flagged for nudity or offensive content or graphic content, whatever it gets categorized as, and subsequently losing their income and in a lot of cases just losing the entire account, which if that's your income, you're pretty fucked, right? And so what they did, a few of these glamour models, is they photoshopped their own images so that then it was a man's nipple placed there on the titties, which I thought was brilliant. I thought it was so perfectly kind of funny and a bit political and a bit, bit weird too. I thought it was brilliant because it perfectly shows the double standards that are at play, doesn't it? Because it's like, man's nips, fine. Builders with their tops off, fine. All right. Nobody's calling the cops. Nobody's talking about public indecency. But a woman with a nip out on a social media platform that is only supposed to allow people aged 16 or up, and indeed you can restrict your content to only go to people over the age of 18. Lifetime ban from your modelling account for even half of a side boob or something. But if you posted it, the same picture, with a man's nipple placed strategically over the top, I mean, technically, guys, it's not breaking the rules, is it? I'm here for it. The other thing I like about this is that Texas have bothered to ban it, They've bothered to ban this flag for the frontal nudity, supposedly. And Texas is a conservative state, I'm sure you're aware. We all know that. Famously Republican, red state, it's big oil, it's gun ownership, it's low taxes, it's Jesus is king, the death penalty, you get the idea. So it's not beyond the imagination that, couldn't the real issue here be that on the flag of Virginia, it actually appears as though it is a woman conquering the man? Like, are we sure that it's the tit that's the problem? Is it the tit that's the problem? Or is it just the fact that it's a woman holding a pencil conquering a man. It's an educated woman has kicked the king off the throne on the Virginia flag. Are we sure that's not what the actual issue is here? Like a woman with a pencil knocks a king off a throne, and surprise, surprise, these tobacco-chewing rednecks find it offensive. But I mean, if it was the other way around, if it was a flag of a man murdering a woman, right, which does actually happen, by the way. Like, it's not just a fan fiction thing that's portrayed by some flag weaver in Fairfax, Virginia. If it was a flag depicting a man killing his wife, the gun-toting anti-woke men of Texas would be telling us that we're all snowflakes and we're trying to cancel their flag, wouldn't they? They'd be like, oh, you liberals. Oh, my gosh. You are so easily offended. It's only a flag. For gosh darn sake, these goddamn liberals and their paper-thin offense thresholds. If I want to fly a flag, the killing of my own wife, well, god damn it. Last time I checked, this was a miracle. But a woman? a woman holding a woman that can write and read? Conquering a man? Are you insane? It's like, I guess we've finally found the limit, haven't we? We finally found the limits to MAGA's commitment to freedom of speech. Those free speech ultras who believe that you should be able to say anything to anyone at any time, no matter who gets offended. Those free speech Trump fans, the MAGA massive. We finally found their limit. And it is a flag from Virginia, guys. Do you know what it reminds me of? Reminds me of that movie. I think it was a TV movie. It starred Daniel Radcliffe. And it was about the games development company who built Grand Theft Auto, which is a now iconic video game. But it involves a lot of, adult themes. A lot of shooting, killing, stealing cars, rated 18, pretty, full on. But this movie that was about the game label, I guess you could call it, who built it, it stars Daniel Radcliffe, and he's one of the head engineers or owners or founders of it. And there's a bit in it where they're getting flack from protest groups and politicians, lobbying firms, and they're all trying to get it banned. They're trying to get it taken off the shelves because they feel that it is sending the kids down a dark, dark path. This is un-American. It was too violent, very un-Christian. So it was stealing all these cars, shooting these people for fun in this video game. Oh, my Lord. Have you played it, by the way, you guys? I love it. Sometimes when I've had a really stressful day, I'll just go on GTA and just go on a killing spree. What does that say about my mental breakdown? I don't know. Feel free to diagnose me also in the comments. But anyway, in this TV movie, there's a scene where Daniel Radcliffe is, feeling the brunt of these protest groups. And he's like, honestly, this fucking country. He goes like, you could walk into a Walmart and buy a fucking gun, but a video game about a gun. That is the shit that gets banned. And it's a bit like that, isn't it? Except with this flag. They'll ban the fucking Virginia flag, but not because it depicts murder. And they'll do very little to prevent any murders. It's actually the woman's tit that's the problem. And I can imagine a million women out there. I mean, not that a million women are listening to this podcast. I can't even get the 250,000 that Sky can get. But I can imagine that if they did listen to this, if they did read these stories, they would be like, oh, well, fucking surprise, surprise. There's no need for tough political leadership. It's the fault of my fucking tit again. Wonderful. Like, what's the punishment anyway? What's the punishment for not adhering to the ban? It says they've banned it in a school. or schools or school district or something like. What happens if you refuse to obey? You know, like what if you're a moody 15-year-old and you walk through the halls of your school with a canvas bag and it's got your favorite band names and all of their logos sewn into it. Maybe you got a Ramones t-shirt on and a Metallica emblem here and a Pearl Jam one woven into that bit over there, and the teachers don't love it, you know, because you are kind of giving off some school shooter vibes with all of this get up, the trench coat, the canvas bag, the long hair, but whatever, you know. And then on the side of your green jacket, just on the side of the green, oh Lord, this is too far. Is what on the side of your jacket you have the flag of Virginia insolently sewn into it. Like, what is the punishment for that? You know, would they expel you for just displaying a flag on your thing of one of your nation's great states? You know, would they expel you? Is that even legal? Can they expel you for that? You know, if you were a TA, like a teaching assistant, or a janitor, and you had it on your bag, maybe you come from Virginia originally or something, like, could you wore that down the school hallways, could you get prosecuted for that? Could you get jail time? I mean, it is Texas, right? Like, don't tell me I'm overreacting by way of what they may or may not do over this. They're deporting people for fucking nothing at the moment. You think they wouldn't give you a 10 stretch in St. Austin for corrupting their children's minds with a woman's tit? A sinful, unholy tit, boy. I mean, there's no limit to the immorality that could be spawned from such obscenity. Sure, today it's a tit on a flag in a classroom, but this is where it starts. Because tomorrow, just mark my words, tomorrow it will fester and crescendo into full frontal nudity. Because it warps, it's ungodly, it's unholy. These kids are in school to learn, to be educated, or are they gonna grow up stupid? Is that what you want? You want the kids to grow up to be the amoral, godless, and stupid Americans of the future. Now, that's what I thought. Now, anyway, I best be on my way, because I saw a news report that said about a new Apple game that pays $500 million with every player. So I better be on my way, because I'll tell you what, boy, I could really use that money, because you know what? I got my eye on my dream car, my dream Honda Civic dream car. So that's it. I'm out. So be nice to me now, because once I got that money, I'm retiring out this motherfucker like I'm Kate Blanchett. And y'all gonna miss me when I'm gone.